was Las Vegas tavern license number 1.
Nice.
The first tavern license ever given, which means the tavern license means you can serve liquor and food. Prior to them getting their license, you could only serve one or the other. So, here's the importance. The reason it's called is you have to listen to the following story. About 30 miles this way, if you went through that white building right there, about 30 miles in that direction, is Frenchman's Flat. Frenchman's Flat was the site of atomic testing in the U.S. In the late 40s and early 50s, they were looking for a place to do nuclear testing. And most states said, no, don't bring that stuff anywhere near here. But Nevada had Senator Pat McCarran, and he went to President Truman and said, we want it, bring it, bring it, bring it, we want it. We got the place, and it's called Frenchman's Flat, and there's nothing there. You can blow up all you want. Please bring it here. And so Pat McCarran talked the government, the military, into building the city of Mercury, Nevada, on Frenchman's Flat. Mercury, Nevada, don't go there because they won't let you in. It's a completely closed city. It's only for members of the Atomic Energy Commission and the military. And it's because that's still after what they did there, who knows what that is now? So there may be creatures there. Who knows? Anyway, since they won't let you in. Between 1951 and 1992, there were 928 atomic tests at Frenchman's Flat. The best place to watch an atomic test at Frenchman's Flat was from the roof of the Atomic Cafe. You had a perfect view, unobstructed view you could see the whole mushroom cloud. And so the bar started advertising. First of all nuclear tests are secret. Nobody used to know the time or place. They always knew the time and place. They knew exactly when the thing was going to go off. The whole city of Las Vegas, it's like, 8:30 Thursday, they're going to do one. And so obviously the people that worked at Mercury...
Landmine.
Oh, okay. Obviously the people that worked in Mercury were, mixing among the Las Vegas natives. This is also the bar that they used in the movie Casino as the hangout of Nicky Santoro. Nicky Santoro was played by Joe Pesci. And the real person that character was based on was Anthony the Ant Spilatro. Tony Spilatro, was a big dude in the Chicago mob who ran Las Vegas for many years and was the last mobster to run Las Vegas. He was found in an Indiana cornfield in 1989. His body was found in an Indiana cornfield in 1989. That was the end of Tony Spilatro. That was the end of the mob in Vegas. His lawyer, Oscar Goodman, then became the mayor. And he was the mayor for 10 years. And then he maxed out on his mayor time, and his wife became the mayor. And she was mayor for 10 years. And so the long arm of Anthony Spilatro lasted another 20 years after he was dead. Oscar Goodman was not a criminal. I'm not making a joke. But it's only been recently that there's been someone other than the Goodman family running the city of Las Vegas, mayor of the city of Las Vegas. And by the way, speaking of Casino, the De Niro character, Ace Rothstein, was based on the real life person, Frank Rosenthal. They did try to blow up Frank Rosenthal. They did try to blow him up while he was driving his car one day and blew him up in his lid. He was the guy who ran the Stardust, which is no longer there. But he ran the sports book and set the odds for every sporting event in the world. He set the opening line every day before everything became algorithms and computers and everything. When you had to have somebody set the opening line for betting, it was at the Stardust, and everyone would wait for Frank Rosenthal's opening line. Let's see. Oh, they also had an annual beauty pageant called Miss Atomic Bomb, and Miss Atomic Bomb would always come for the when they blow something up. And also, it's a very charming car today. I would recommend it. And they've got memorabilia in there and stuff. Now, if we had all the time in the world, we would walk all the way down to 21st Street. Don't worry, we're not doing it. But at 21st Street, there was a place called the Blue Onion Drive-In. It wasn't a new movie drive-in, it was a restaurant drive-in. They had 73 lanes of parking for cars at the restaurant. They would blow cold air on your car, and they had the roller skating attendants would come to your car and everything. And next door to it was the Blue Angel Motel, and there was a statue that is famous and beloved called the Blue Angel statue. It's a blue angel that was there and is still there. Go to 21st and Fremont, and it was created by Betty Willis. Now, Betty Willis was the greatest designer of neon in the world, and she worked here in Vegas for the Yesco Sign Company. She was born in 1923. She died in 2015. The Yesco Sign Company had been formed in 1920 to make neon signs. It's still going today, but it's based in Salt Lake City, and they have 88 locations around the world. It's actually owned by Samsung today. And by the way, I would recommend back on 5th Street, Las Vegas Boulevard, if you turn right and go about 7 blocks to the north, the Neon Boneyard. You should definitely stop there. The Neon Boneyard, it's where retired neon signs go to die. So they just put them out in the field. So anyway, Betty Willis designed the Welcome to Las Vegas sign. She was an inventor of Googie architecture, which is a kind of diner architectural style. I mentioned before that this highway goes all the way. In 1928, there was dancing in the streets of Vegas for several days because the Congress passed the Boulder Canyon Project Act to build the Hoover Dam, what became known as the Hoover Dam. Some people call it the Boulder Dam. But Congress passed it, the President signed it, and everybody knew that a big construction project was coming to Vegas. And people started pouring in from everywhere, and the Chamber of Commerce was ecstatic, and they built the town of Boulder, Nevada, about 30 miles down this road, and built the Hoover Dam. Now, they built the Hoover Dam. It was supposed to take 6 years. They built it in 5. It was supposed to cost a certain amount. It brought it in a couple of $1 million under budget. It's the last time that any infrastructure project in America has been built in less time than they predicted and under budget. Never again has anybody accomplished that. Now, people will say, well, health and safety rules, environmental rules, everything. Yeah, and I'm sure they had a few bad accidents at the work site. I'm sure that they killed a few species, But we're at the point where all the other Western countries, we're dead last in terms of being able to complete infrastructure projects. Somebody said in California how long would it take if we wanted to extend that high-speed rail and make it they're building a high-speed rail, you know this, right? In California. And it's supposed to be LA, San Francisco. They said, what if we made it LA, Vegas, San Francisco, a triangle? Where you could go to, and the estimate was it would take 9 years for the environmental permits before you could ever even plan it, And so they was like, okay, we're not doing that. Anyway, what people don't know about the Hoover Dam was created as a way to bring water to the Southwest. It takes all the water out of the Colorado River. I mean, literally all the water. And so And so, and it creates Lake Mead, of course, which is the great recreational space for Las Vegas. But the amount of water that's divided between Arizona, Colorado, California, and Nevada is based on 1935 population. And so there was nobody here in 1935. So Nevada gets 1% of the water from the Hoover Dam. They were supposed to get 14% originally, but they've made various agreements. Hey, we'll take less if you'll give us this, we'll take less if you'll give us that. And my question is, where does the water come from? I mean, obviously, how much water does it take to run Las Vegas? I mean, it must be millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of acre feet. And nobody knows exactly. I mean, the water for Clark County is different. The politics of it are different than the water from the city of Las Vegas. And so those casino guys just get together and say, oh, I got you some water. I know where to get some water. You know, and so they have just, like, in spite of this problem of being in the middle of a waterless desert, they have somehow figured that out too, you know? So I think what the theme of this whole walking tour, I think, is these are the most innovative fuckers in the world. these are our innovators in America. You know, they know how to sell, they know how to build, they know how to get things that should go to other people. You know? So anyway, all right, now what else was I going to say? I was going to say something else. Oh yeah. If we just went 2 blocks, and we're not going to go 2 blocks, but if we just went 2 blocks, we would be at the Sure Thing Wedding Chapel. It's a drive-through wedding chapel. Two people in the previous tour had gotten married there yesterday. They didn't drive through, they actually parked their cars inside. But there are 192 wedding chapels in Las Vegas. There's 130,000 weddings per year. The most famous ones are the We Kirk of the Heather at 231 South Las Vegas Boulevard, so it'd be 2 blocks off Fremont on 5th Street. Little Church of the West, directly across from the Mandalay Bay. And a Little White Chapel, 1301 South Las Vegas Boulevard. It's in that area between the city of Las Vegas and the Strip. A Little White Chapel, still open. And of course now all the big hotels make weddings part of their offering. You know, hey, just give us $30,000, we'll do everything. You won't have to, you'll get the video and you know, just show up. You know, here, have a drink, go gamble. We'll take care of your wedding. You know, and so people. But people still love to do the wedding chapel thing, I think, because, I mean, you guys were there last night. That was a couple that was going to get married in the wedding chapel with the Elvis. And then they said, can we just bring the Elvis to the drive-in? And I said, sure. So they brought the Elvis to the drive-in and got married there on the stage. So anyway, you think of Vegas, a lot of people think of Vegas, they think marriage. So
no blood test.
No blood test. All right, we're going to go, let's see. We are going to go back, what time is it?
3.
What?
3.
Is it 3? By the way, I would recommend the Mob Museum if you haven't been there. Very accurate, very accurate. There's been several histories of Las Vegas written. Unfortunately, there were 2 guys that were gonna write one. Hunter S. Thompson was gonna write a history of Las Vegas. Of course, he never got around to it. And then Tommy Thompson, who wrote Blood and Money, was gonna write a history of Las Vegas. He never wrote that one. There have been several histories of Las Vegas since then that are really academic, really academic. It's too bad that we didn't get those sort of gonzo histories written in the 70s, 80s, 90s, before Vegas became this sort of commercial enterprise. But anyway, when we go back to the beginning of the canopy on 5th and Fremont, we get back to the beginning of the canopy, I'm going to tell you about all those casinos that are under the canopy. Okay? And I'm going to tell you about a great FBI story. Okay. Lead the way.